Welcome, clients. This is Lisa Efthymiou with eXp Realty here to bring you my buyer consultation presentation. My goal here is to make sure that you're informed and educated on the process and given a window into what the current market looks like and then what to expect so that you can be successful to reach your home buying goals, and also to let you understand how I work and how I can benefit you in the process. So without further ado, this is for all people who are buying townhomes, condos, residential, single family residential, new construction homes, or investment properties. So first of all, understanding how I work is that I'm not just a salesperson to sell you a home. I am your consultant. Um, my job is to give you the best advice to bring benefit to you first and foremost, so that you can have the best leverage and get the best results that fit your needs and the time that you need. Um, and probably you're aware that right now we're in a seller's market, more so in some price ranges than others. Later, I will go into, when I work with you, I will give you much more specific detail on what your particular market looks like. It's different in different price ranges. So at the moment, the average sales price to list price ratio in the under 250 or under $300,000 price range in Northeast Tarrant County is about 100%. Um, Sellers listing their homes at certain prices, and for the most part, they are able to sell right around that price, a little bit more than the list price or a little bit under, but mostly right on. So, for example, if the home is 250, listed at 250, and you think you'd like to buy that home, I would suggest in most cases to aim for right around that list price to make your offer. So the listing inventory, the number of homes available for sale, is really down from this time last year. It's a tight inventory time. There's not enough homes for sale at the moment. So when the inventory is down, demand goes up, or the competition for those homes goes up because there are continuously larger and larger number of people coming to North Texas looking for homes. They're being brought by good jobs and good weather and good taxes and so on, and they are competing for homes. So when that demand goes up, it drives the prices up, as you have no doubt seen. Right, so your financing pre-approval, it is a benefit to you, and in some cases pretty mandatory to go ahead and get your pre-approval letter from a good lender. And that consultation with that lender not only brings you, intimate knowledge about your financial situation and your buying power for certain, but also when you're preparing to make an offer on a home, you can include that pre-approval letter from your lender with that and show that listing agent, show that seller that you are a strong, capable buyer. And so it turns you into basically a cash buyer. It's not quite the same as a cash buyer, but it just means that you know how much money you've got, and you've got it at the ready, and you can demonstrate that with your lender letter. It saves you money. It gives you leverage in multiple offer situations. Nowadays, there's pretty much no hope in a multiple offer situation if you don't have your pre-approval letter from your lender. So it gives you confidence. If you're not sure exactly your financial buying power at the moment, have a consultation with a good lender. I can recommend several. So buyer representation. So all of my clients that are buying homes, having me help them buy homes, choose buyer representation. And what that is a written buyer representation agreement. that establishes that I will be loyal to you and you will be loyal to me, and that I place your best interest first and foremost over and above anybody else. Any seller that I run into, that I encounter in dealing with helping you buy a home, your interests come first. And I bring you a quick notification, instant notification of homes available on the market, and oftentimes can provide you a virtual reality video of that home, and a portal for you so that you can essentially see more homes than you would otherwise have time to, and give me your feedback and go in person to see just the ones that are more right for you. So I can answer you in a paragraph instead of a sentence when I am your a buyer agent with a written buyer representation agreement. What that means is it's referring to the state of Texas has very strict laws about what we agents can divulge of confidential information. We're not allowed to just divulge information that people have shared with us in confidence without a written representation agreement. And in that case, of course, I have to keep your information confidential, and only the things that you've told me that give me express permission to share with a seller or someone else, then I can divulge. But I can't divulge that information to anyone unless I have that agreement. So how do I get paid? You might ask. I get paid by the seller in most cases. Typically, sellers of homes on the market hire a listing agent, and they offer to pay their listing agent a fee. Typically, it's around 6%. And typically in our market, that listing agent is posting on their listing that they will pay a buyer agent 3%. You may already be aware of that, but that's what the listing agent will post on the listing. And so with our buyer representation agreement, though, still your best interest come first, you see, even though my fees are paid by the seller. So in most cases, that's true. And that means my services to you as a buyer agent come free to you. Really, all brokers have access to the same information. It's just how we are able to package that information, deliver that information to you in a timely fashion to give you the advantage against other buyers who may be competing for those same homes, and make the process easier and easier for you, and simple and effective, and also negotiation skills to be able to win that bid on that home and negotiate a very, very satisfactory contract for you. So if you encounter for sale by owner homes, you may see them with signs in the yard, or on Zillow perhaps. And if it's a house that you're interested in, call me, and I will work out with that seller to show you the home if it's something that you really like. Most of the times that for sale by owner will pay my commission, and it's just a form that I bring that seller and negotiate with that seller to pay me a buyer agent commission. And those for sale by owner sellers are looking to, in their mind, they think they're going to be saving money or making a greater net number at the end by not hiring an agent, when in fact they do end up selling for, on average, for less by going for sale by owner. And meanwhile, they need to figure out how to process the forms and navigate that whole transaction on their own. Maybe they hire an attorney, or they, the attorney's charged by the hour, by the way, and they're kind of left on their own to navigate that. But if it's a home that you like and you'd like to see, I can arrange it, so call me. Right. If you are looking at new construction homes, same thing. The builder pays my fees. Typically, they'll pay 3%, sometimes 4%. Sometimes they have uh, bonuses that they offer realtors for bringing buyers into their new home. And similarly, I can negotiate for your on your behalf for you to get the best deal on that home, and also ask all the right pertinent questions that you might not think to ask of that builder, and also check out comparisons between their lender, their in-house lender versus other lenders that you might interview, and help you navigate the pros and cons of using those. Um, so I will provide you with a stack of cards that you can use when you're going into open houses, or if you're going into builder sales offices. So when you go into those, just give them one of my card and tell them, my realtor is Lisa Efthymiou. You may call her with your questions. Um, and the benefit to you of doing this is that you have representation for you, whereas this on-site salesperson, whether it's an open house or a builder sales office, that salesperson is representing the seller, not representing you. Right. So when you shop for your home, my average buyer looks at about 5 homes before finding the right one. And the reason for that is that I am sending virtual reality videos of a lot more homes that they think they might like into a Savvy Home portal for them, so they can, in the leisure of their home, maybe late at night or whenever, go on their iPad or their computer or their phone and view a virtual reality video of some of the homes that they were considering. And it saves time. It saves about 85% of their time. So only the ones that they really think may be the home for them, because they've seen it in the video, they think that might be the home for them, we go in person. And the most important key to finding that right home quickly is your feedback. I want to hear how you feel about all those homes. So here's a slide that's about the home buying process. It may have too much detail in here for you to read that whole thing, and it's kind of small type. So I'm going to stick a document copy of this into your portal so that you can have your own copy of this and expand it and see it. It just has the whole process from start to finish. And I'm here to walk you through it and answer all of your questions about that. Right, so you will become familiar with the purchase contract that we will use for you to put an offer on a home. We will either sit down together or maybe through this portal. Make sure that you're familiar with that contract, all the price fields and all the various terms that you might put into your offer and negotiate around. And I can inform you of what is normal and typical in our area, what I recommend in this particular case. And so it's something that I will make sure that you are very familiar with, so that when you've decided to make an offer on a home, you're familiar with all those things and can just pull the trigger. So earnest and option money. These are 2 checks that when you have decided you're going to make an offer on a home, you will prepare 2 checks. One is for the option fee. Typically, buyers get an option fee, typically about 7 to 10 days at the beginning of the contract period, where during that option period, you as buyer have an unrestricted right to terminate the contract for any reason. And it's during that period of time that we will arrange for you to have your inspection done. And you will meet with the inspector there, and I will be there with you and review the results of that, and as needed, negotiate with the seller around repairs and or concessions during the option period, because during that period of time, you have that leverage of the privilege to terminate for any reason. Even if you wake up in the middle of the night and decide, oh my gosh, this has been a big mistake, you can still terminate the contract. You just lose your option fee. when you do that, and you can go on and shop for another home. The option fee is usually around $150. Now, the earnest money is a check that goes to the title company that will be handling the closing, and it's normal and typical in our area for that to be about 1% of the total offer price. And the title company holds that during our contract to close process. And if you terminate the contract in an allowable way, there's several different ways you can terminate the contract, but if it's allowed for you to terminate at any different stage, then you get that earnest money back at that time. So I'm here to answer all your questions about that. And so during your option period, you're having that inspection. And of course, the inspection report will show everything that they've been able to find on the home that's not perfect. That's their job, is to find and call out everything they even have a question about. They'll put it in the report. So, but in terms of items that we'll go back to the seller to negotiate on, we just need to limit those things to the major items. You know, if there's a problem with the roof, I mean, like a major problem with the roof or the foundation or major plumbing malfunction or leak, or if there's a major electrical hazard happening, you know, any kind of sanitation, safety, or structural items that would cause you to say, if this is not fixed, I can't live here and feel safe. Those are the items that we would negotiate with the seller around and ask them, negotiate with them for repairs and or monetary concessions. And so I have a great list of fantastic inspectors that I can recommend to you, and I'm able to quickly get those scheduled as soon as you get a home under contract. So we maximize your time after the inspection, still during the option period, to negotiate around those repairs. Okay? So then there's the appraisal. Once you get past the option period and you're happy to go forward with this particular house, then the lender orders the appraisal. It's about $350 to $400 for a residential appraisal. You'll need to check that with your lender for sure to find out how much. And that is a licensed real estate appraiser that protects your interest, but also protects the lender's interest, because the lender is going to put a significant loan on that property, and they have to show their underwriters that it is worth an amount that matches or exceeds the contract price. And typically you will pay for that appraisal when the appraisal is ordered, and you would typically wait until after the option period is finished. In some cases, lenders prefer to do that right up front if there's a big rush, and sometimes they will waive that fee for you if you have to terminate. So talk with your individual lender, ask them these specific questions, and see what is their particular case. So once you have your loan approved, you have a reason to celebrate. That means you are close to the closing and packing your things, getting ready for your move, and arranging for utilities changeover and so on. And then you plan to go to the closing, and this is when all of your time and efforts have paid off. You will prepare a bank wire for your down payment and closing costs, or a bank cashier's check. A wire is usually safer and faster to get your transaction funded and get you possession of that home. You will bring a picture ID to the closing, and of course we'll provide you with a lot more details on that. And so when you're working with me, Lisa Efthymiou, you are always working with me. I don't have a big team of junior agents that will be trying out on you. You have an experienced agent always with you, and the benefits to you are knowledge, availability, and communication. Absolutely. And my goal is to always get you the best price with the fewest hassles in the time frame that you desire. And of course, as you can imagine, The referrals are the lifeblood of my business. So, who do you know from your work or your friends, school, family, church people that also needs help with buying or selling a home? And I would love to help all your friends and work with more people like you. So, I hope that you will call me when somebody that you know needs my help. So I hope this has been informative for you, and I am looking forward to working with you and answer all your questions. So have a great day. Bye bye.